So section 12.7, gentlemen. 12.7 is the law of sines. Yesterday we looked at the law of cosines. They're both going to come in handy when you have non-right triangles. Okay? So you're going to basically draw the same triangle, the vertex A, opposite side A, vertex B, opposite side B, and so on. Capitals, lower cases, right? Capitals for the vertices, lower cases for the sides. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the information that they give you and set up a proportion. Okay, so proportion's like a fraction equal to a fraction, right? So you're going to say the sine of angle A over the opposite side A is going to be equal to the sine of B over the opposite side B. Once you set up the proportion, you'll do the cross product and you'll solve for the one piece of information that's missing, right? So you'll have three pieces of information and the fourth piece will be missing. You can, in this case, you could either call it A or B or you could use the variable X. Doesn't really matter. And then you'll cross product and solve either using regular trig or inverse trig. Okay? Regular trig if you're solving for a
right triangle.
How about a side? Inverse trig if you're solving for
Angle.
an angle. Okay? You could also have the sine of C over the opposite side C. Okay? So you'll either be using these two, or these two. Just depends on the problem. Depends on what they give you. Okay? So example number 1.
Are they always going to give us all the necessary information?
There's one of them where they give you the wrong angle, and so you have to subtract from 180 and figure the 1. But other than that, no. Okay, so example number 1, we're going to take a triangle ABC, and we're going to be given angle A is 40 degrees, side A is 15. So part A, we're going to find angle B if side B is 20. So we've got angle A, side A. We want to solve for angle B, and we've got side B. So we're going to use the first two, right?
Yes.
Because we don't see any C's. So don't worry about that. We've got three pieces of information. Fourth piece of information is what we want to solve for. So we're going to use sine of A over opposite side A equal to the sine of angle B over the opposite side B. And then just start plugging in what you know. So angle A is 40. So we're going to say the sine of 40 over side A, which they gave us, is 15, equals sine of B. That's what we don't know. So right here, you can either say sine of B, or you could say sine of X, whatever variable you like, over B, which is 20. Okay? Then you have your proportion set up. Proportions, always, you have three pieces of information, fourth piece is missing, so you solve by doing the what? Cross product.
Yeah.
Bloop, bloop. So we're going to say 20 times the sine of 40 equals 15 times the sine of B. The sine of B is what we want to solve for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that an angle or a sine? Angle. So we're going to use regular or inverse trig.
Right.
It's an angle, so we're going to use inverse trig. Okay? Right now, the sine of B is being multiplied by 15, so we need to divide by 15. So we're going to use inverse sine of all of this. So 20 times the sine of 40. Gracias.
Thank you.
Over 15. And you can type that into your calculator in parts, or you can type it in as one big long thing. Let me show you how to do that. This is why I said grab a calculator. Okay, so we're going to do inverse sine. Make sure it has the little -1 up there. Make sure you're in degree mode. You're going to go 20 times the sine of 40. Divide that by 15. I think I need to hit equals. And angle B is 58.98, but there's a 6 next to it, so 99. So let's round that to 59 degrees. All right, so think about the angle that we started with. Angle A was 40. So if we take that 40 plus the 59 that we just found out, that's going to give us 99 degrees. It's a possibility that 59 is not our answer. It's a possibility that 180 degrees minus the 59, which just so happens to be 121 degrees, is the answer instead. Why? Because if you take 40 plus 121, you get 161 degrees. These are both possible answers. Because they are less than 180. Let's look at one. Let's look at another one. And something different is going to happen. All right, I'm going to move this up. You'll see it in just a second. There it is. Oh, the anxiety. Okay. So now, part B, we're still going to have angle A at 40 degrees. We're still going to have side A at 15, but this time we're going to change the length of B. So we're still going to find angle B, but this time B is going to be equal to 8 instead of 20.
Still example 1. Yes.
Yeah, it's 1A and 1B. You can call it example 1 and 2 if you want. Go for it. So we're going to say the sine of 40 over the opposite side 15 equal to the sine of B, which is what we're solving for, over the opposite side little b, which is 8 in this case. So do the cross product again. So we're going to have 8 times the sine of 40. Set that equal to 15 times the sine of B. And you end up solving it pretty much the same way. Always do the cross product. Get whatever's missing by itself because it's being multiplied by 15, so you want to divide by 15. So those cancel. And so, again, you're solving for an angle. So you're going to do inverse sine of all this stuff. 8 times the sine of 40 over 15. And let me show you how to type it in the calculator one more time, but you can do it all in one shot. Inverse sine of 8 times the sine of 40 divided by 15. Oh, I forgot the parenthesis here. Sine of 40 divided by 15. And this time we get 20. I'm just going to round it to 20. You guys see why? Yeah. So we'll say angle B this time is 20. Or it could be what? Right? If you subtract 20 from 180, what do you get?
160.
160. So the original angle was what? Angle A was 40. So if we say 40 degrees plus 20 degrees, we get 80. So that one's fine. But what if we say the original angle of 40 plus the 160? What do we get? 200. So this one cannot be the second answer. 1 second. So just write down that it's greater, we're almost done, than 180. So if it comes out greater, hold on, greater than 180, that second answer is not an answer. So check by subtracting from 180 and see